Do you feel like you're so busy at work, you're doing so much, and yet you are not being recognized for everything that you do? You're not getting promoted. You're putting in so much effort, you're doing so much, you're almost overwhelmed with how much you are taking on. However, it's not progressing anywhere. You're not getting a raise, you're not getting a promotion, and you start questioning whether it's you or the company or what is going on. If that is you, you might be working on too many tasks that are non-promotable. The ratio of your promotable tasks to your non-promotable tasks are off. In this video, we will talk about what a non-promotable task is, how to recognize it, and what to do with non-promotable tasks so that you have more time to dedicate to your promotable tasks, the tasks that actually lead to your promotion. If we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Masha. I'm a career strategist helping you advocate for yourself in the workplace and grow your career strategically. If you like to work smarter, not harder, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because a lot of content is coming your way on the topic, enabling you to be strategic about how you work. Back to non-promotable tasks. First of all, what are they? Researchers, academics, and authors of the brilliant book The No Club, Linda Babcock, Lise Westerlund, Brenda Pacer, and Lori Weingard, define non-promotable tasks as the tasks that are important for the company, but that do not advance your career when you are taking them. For example, taking notes in a meeting. Important to the company. All of these conversations need to be documented, but it doesn't really do much to your career because you're not able to participate in the actual discussion. Another example from the book is organizing parties at the office, interviewing summer interns, etc. The authors of The No Club, which is a book that I highly recommend for you to read if this is something that you're interested in, if this is something that is painful in your life right now, they call a lot of these tasks office housework. And what's interesting is that their research has identified the unfortunate reality that a lot of these tasks, a lot of the non-promotable tasks, tend to fall on women. Women tend to agree to them more and tend to be asked to perform these tasks much more frequently, which means that we are burdened with the majority of non-promotable tasks. Of course, there are certain men that are also overwhelmed by non-promotable tasks, but this is just something that the researchers have found in their research, in their experiments. They have found that women are expected to say yes and volunteer much more often, and that in part is the reason why they're asked much more often, because their male colleagues find a way to say no or find a way to wiggle out of some of these tasks. Their findings also show that women of color get even more non-promotable tasks. So this is something that you should be mindful of. If you are a woman or if you're a woman of color, you might have a larger proportion of non-promotable tasks because of that. But also, this is something that us as decision makers and people who are able to distribute these kinds of tasks more fairly, we should be mindful of that. We should think, okay, am I assigning this task to this person because she is a woman? Because she is a woman of color? And like, who else can I give it to so that there's an equal distribution of non-promotable tasks within the organization. These tasks are still important to the organization, to the company, to its survival and functioning, so they need to be done by someone. However, what we can do is to make sure that the ratio as individually, as employees, the ratio between our promotable and non-promotable tasks is more or less equal or healthy, whatever, depending on where you are, what industry you work in, how many non-promotable tasks there are to go around, etc. There's a healthy ratio that is fair, and we got to make sure that the distribution among different people, it is also fair, so that no one is being bogged down by these non-promotable tasks. Because the danger of non-promotable tasks is the fact that you are going to be overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed out, exhausted, demotivated, and potentially questioning your self-worth while not progressing in your career, while stagnating while everybody else, like you are on the same level as your peers, and because you have so many non-promotable tasks, your peers will rise up faster than you. And I'm not saying that it's the source of all happiness. However, we want to make sure that everything is fair and everybody's potential, everybody's hard work is rewarded and recognized. So you want to make sure that there's a healthy distribution of non-promotable tasks to promotable tasks on your to-do list and your colleagues' to-do list. Let's talk about how you can recognize these non-promotable tasks. The author of the No Club suggests 3 different characteristics that these tasks tend to have. The first one is that a non-promotable task is the one that is not visible to the leadership, right? So by doing this task, your work is not visible to people above, the decision makers, the ultimate decision makers on whether you're going to get that promotion or raise, etc. Your work is not visible. That is a non-promotable task. The next characteristic is that the task does not directly contribute to the company's overall goals. Whether the goal is revenue, market share, etc., the task does not directly contribute to it. So, ultimately it is also not visible. A good shortcut that I have here is asking yourself, does the boss of my boss, does the manager of my manager care about this task? If the answer is no, it is very likely that it is not contributing to their goals, which are directly in line with the company goals. Right? So this is a good way to kind of gauge whether this task is within that food chain of goals. And finally, the third characteristic is, does it require specialized skills? Non-promotable tasks do not require specialized skills. They are the extra tasks, the housework that can be done by anyone. They're floating up in the air, not attached to anyone's job description. And let's be honest, you were not hired to do that task in the first place. You were probably hired for your specialized skills, and this is not the best use of your time when you look at what you've been hired for. What you've been hired for is the promotable stuff. The promotable stuff is specialized, it requires specialized skills. The promotable stuff is visible to the leadership, and the promotable stuff contributes to the company goals. So this is where the disconnect happens. As we've discussed already, you will probably not be able to eliminate all of these tasks. The reason for it is because somebody has to do them, right? And if you try to get them down to 0, somebody might say that you're not a team player, and therefore you run the risk of potentially being fired. So you got to be more strategic about what non-promotable tasks you do keep and what non-promotable tasks you redistribute. I have a mini course on the subject, which I will leave a link to in the description, which will take you through an audit of your current tasks, figuring out which ones are promotable, which ones are not, and also take you through a filter exercise helping you identify which non-promotable tasks you want to keep and which ones don't serve you and you want to redistribute. It also talks about all of the different ways in which you can get them off of your plate. So yeah, if you're interested, the link will be in the description. Yeah, I can't put it up there. The link will be in the description. Let me know what you thought about this video. If this is a topic that you want more content on, if you have any questions in any specific scenarios, etc., let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always listening. I'm always looking for new ideas for content that will serve you, that will solve your problems, that will address the questions and the challenges that you have in front of you right now. Like this video if you've enjoyed it. It really helps with the algorithm. It really helps to spread my message and, supports my channel. So I really appreciate you for doing that. And let's continue the conversation in the community tab. There's a lot of different discussions going on there right now. So join the conversation. And again, if you have any ideas for more content that will help you in your career progression, let me know. I'm like a sponge for all of these questions so that I can create content that addresses them. We can also be friends on other social media. You can find me as Stereotype Breakers. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful time of the day you're currently experiencing. Bye.